Hey beauty babes, welcome to my channel. I'm Maria, aka AGAPELOVEGIRL. Thank you so much for joining me today. Today I'm here to share with you my rewind and replay, or maybe just replay video. If you've joined in the last couple of rewind videos, you know that I've been going through this thing where I have to kind of rename this series, and I think I officially decided on replay. But if you are new here, basically the idea behind my what used to be rewind series is it's just a series where I rewind, look back on the previous month at all the new to me makeup products that I tried and tested out for the month, and then I come back and let you guys know my updated thoughts and reviews on the products after testing them out for the month. I recently had to change the name because Beauty Rewind is a copyrighted name that I didn't know, so I've been trying to think of a name for the series, and so many of you guys have helped me, but my dear friend Sherry, I believe, is the one who I saw suggest replay, and with that I decided to kind of play off the idea of replay, because it's still like rewinding it, you're replaying it, so I can still look back, do a review, but also include a little replay. So these videos will be a little bit different, but I think they'll be the most beneficial to you. So basically, in addition to talking about these products, I will also have a little video replaying of the products in action so you guys can see them. Now I just want to mention that most of these videos that I have are probably already posted on my channel somewhere or my Instagram, so if you want to see the full video or see more about that product, I will obviously of course link to those videos so you guys can check out the full videos, and I would encourage you to do that. It would be helpful to me and my channel as well, but in case you didn't want to, you just wanted a quick recap, replay of it, you'll be able to see that here as well. So I really hope you guys are going to like this new name and new format and new way of doing this makeup and beauty review type of video. Now these videos will be long. I do tend to get long-winded here on my channel, but because of what I plan to do for this video, as well as I do have a lot of products to talk about, these videos will be long. So with that being said, you may want to grab a drink, grab a snack, sit down and get comfortable for this video. Otherwise, you could put this video on in the background while you're doing the dishes, making dinner, folding laundry, something mundane to keep you entertained and things like that. That's usually what I do with longer videos and how I enjoy them. But with all that being said, let's go ahead and get into the products. Alright, so the first product that I want to mention is actually not a makeup or beauty item, but I did want to mention it because it was a brand new thing that I had tried for the first time last month in September, and it is a food item actually, and I did do a live taste testing actually in one of my makeup videos, so you guys can see that. I won't do the sound, but you can see me eating it. Anyways, these are the Shrewd Food protein puffs, and I want to mention them in this video, like I said, just because it was a new product that I tried last month, but also because I have been sharing a little bit more of my health and weight loss journey, as well as some of the things I've been doing and changing up with what I'm eating and healthy and different snack options, and because I am like kind of a crunchy snack lover, I thought these were really, really neat and I really enjoyed them. I do find them to be fairly reasonably priced, or affordable in my opinion. I know affordable is subjective, but I find that most healthier options for snacks, like yummy snacks, tend to be very expensive, and I don't want to buy them. I'd rather just buy like fresh fruit or vegetables or something rather than just spend it on a snack that just is a healthier option, you know what I mean? Because they're so expensive. But these are pretty reasonably priced. I think they're just like $2 per bag, or you can like buy a bundle box, and it just makes it really affordable. They are available on Amazon, and I thought they were really, really tasty, really good. They have a lot of variety of different snacks, from like sriracha cheddar, sour cream and onion. They have croutons. They also have sweet options. They have a chocolate and a strawberries and cream little puff, which you can eat as a sweet snack or even eat as cereal, which I have done, which was a really cool option. My favorites were the croutons because I love croutons and I've missed having them in my salad, and then the sriracha cheddar puffs because I am someone who loves spicy, and I know they're not good for you, but I love Flamin' Hot Cheetos. Those are literally the best, and I have to stay away from them. So the sriracha cheddar, while they're not quite exactly the same, they kind of, they hit the spot for me of something when I'm craving something like that. So anyways, I know this is a little bit random, but I wanted to get that out of the way first since it wasn't a beauty item, but it was something new that I tried that I was excited to try and that I would recommend, especially if you are looking to change up your diet and what you're eating and have a healthier option for those like crunchy kind of like carby snacks, but these are like high protein, low carb, low calories kind of snacks that are a little bit better for you. So anyways, I wanted to mention that real quick, and let's go ahead and move on to the rest of the products, which will be beauty products. All right, these next items I'm going to talk about are not actually new in the sense that I've never tried them before. I have tried them and I've loved them, but I don't think I've really talked about them much on my channel. And then I did actually use them up, and then recently was sent some more by the brand owner. So she actually sent them to me for free, but I love these nail polishes so much. So the brand is Maxus Nails, and I have, these are all clear coats. There's a base coat, a top coat, and then a strengthener coat, which actually the strengthener one is new to me. So that one is, you know, I have not tried that until just recently. But she does also carry colors. Now, Maxus is a brand that's a small business brand. It is a woman-owned brand. She used to be, as far as I'm remembering, because I discovered her quite a long time ago and learned about her brand, but was a nail technician herself and decided to create a nail polish line. So she has the knowledge of what's the best things for your nails and stuff like that, and literally these nail polishes are the very best. Now you may notice that my nails are, you may or may not notice, I don't know what you guys notice on here or not, but usually I keep my nails very, very short. I hardly ever paint them. I've been painting them lately because of another product I'm going to be talking about and after these. But I keep them short because my nails are very just weak. I wouldn't call them quite brittle, but they do break very easily, as well as they get the ridges in them. And so I just don't think they look good long because they're constantly breaking and just looking bad. And they used to be a lot better when I was using this, but I ran out of this nail polish because my daughter also loves this nail polish and she helped me use it all up. And so she was really excited when I got some more of this too. But this polish really does help to strengthen your nails. It's insane. So I do have the strengthener now, which I think is actually really cool. I've tried other strengthening nail polishes before and they don't seem like they do much for your nails. It kind of goes on and doesn't seem like a nail polish, but it actually goes on and leaves your nails shiny. So you could just use the strengthener on its own, and your nails look really, really beautiful and are really strengthened. Like, it really does heal up your nails. But even if you didn't get the strengthener, even just using the base coat and the top coat, and even the colored nail polishes, all of them have strengthening properties to the nail polishes that help the health of your nails. And so my nails never look so better than when I'm using these nail polishes. So I recommend them so much. They're so good, but I have really especially been loving the strengthener. So like I said, sometimes I will just use a strengthener on its own when I don't feel like having a color on my nails. And it makes my nails look beautiful. It fills in the ridges, it gives them strength, and it leaves them shiny and beautiful, and I really love that. And then sometimes I will even use the strengthener as a base coat because it dries really quick and I really like it. But there is actually a base coat as well as a top coat. They're just so amazing. I can't recommend these enough. But also, additionally, I did get a discount code to share with you. I think the code is like AGAPELOVE or AGAPELOVEGIRL. I can't remember. I have to look it up because these are a little bit more expensive. So I was like, of course, if I can help you guys save some money, then absolutely, because I love a good discount code. So I wanted to do that for you. So I do have that if you guys want to purchase these and need, you know, products to help build the strength of your nails. They really work so amazingly. So I just cannot recommend them enough. So next up is, again, some more nail polishes, and those are the colors that I have on my nails. So like I said, I've been painting my nails lately because NBA Cosmetics has recently come out with, oh my gosh, so many nail polishes. It's amazing. And I actually used to be pretty big on painting my nails. I used to share like nail designs and nail art on my blog quite a bit, but as I got more into like makeup, I left like my nails alone because it just takes so much time, and I tend to always mess up my nails, so I just like, ain't nobody got time for that. And then, like I said, I used to always keep my nails pretty short and just didn't want to make time for it. But I started getting back into nail polishes once my nails started looking better and healing up and getting some length to them because of Maxus, and then because NBA Cosmetics has come out with so many nail polishes. I pulled these three out just because these are actually the three that I have on my nails today. And so the color I have here, this is such a pretty color. It's called Impulse. And literally, I did put 2 coats on my nails, but literally one coat of this was actually really opaque. You know, sometimes polishes this color can be pretty sheer. So I was really pleasantly surprised when I put it on, and in one swipe, it was really opaque. And I did build it up a little bit, just as I just wanted to, but I don't think you necessarily need to. So really impressed with that. And then I decided I wanted wanted to use the white one as my accent nail, and then I just felt like I needed a little something something because I just had to have glitter, so I did apply this one, which is called White Diamonds, which I'm not sure if you can see, but it's a very shimmery, glittery, but not quite glitter. It's like a fine glitter, so it's not going to be that chunky glitter that's going to be hard to take off or remove, but really pretty, almost like pearlescent. And this shade is the White Queen. So anyways, NBA Cosmetics recently launched just so many nail polishes. They're so beautiful, and it's making me actually really want to paint my nails more often. So if you're into nail polishes and want to check them out, I think they're fairly affordable. I think the prices range from like $7 to like $9 depending on the type, because she has Chromolus polishes, which are the multi-dimensional, and I think those are $9 if I'm remembering correctly. But anyways, I do have an affiliate code with NBA Cosmetics that will save you 10%. You can use that on your purchase if you want to grab those. So the code is AGAPELOVE, and that saves you, like I said, 10%. All right, let's move on to some eyeshadow palettes. I have quite a bit actually to share with you. So the Naked Honey palette, I tried this out last month, and I really like this so much. I feel like I've been liking pretty much every Naked palette that Urban Decay has come out with, pretty much from Naked Heat and on. So Naked Heat, Naked Cherry, Naked Reloaded. Has there been any other in between those? I've just been really impressed with the formula. Originally, I wasn't sure how I felt about the Naked formula because the Naked 3 I had previously and just didn't really like it. But I don't know what they did. They must have improved the formula. It just keeps getting better and better. I feel like every Naked palette they come out with is just better and better. Now, I did do a standalone video tutorial with this palette. It was just kind of a quick one, and I think I just shared some first impressions of it, but I didn't do a full-on review because I really hadn't used it very much. But I will say that, as I mentioned in that video, when I first saw the Naked Honey palette, I wasn't sure if I would get it in PR, which, by the way, this came in PR. But if I didn't, it wasn't a palette that I was like super interested in, and one that I was super gravitated towards. Like, it looked a little bit boring. Didn't look like anything special to me. But when I got it and saw it in person, you guys, it's so much prettier in person, and I just was so impressed by it. The shade in here that I like the best is Keeper. It's a matte, kind of like warm mustardy honey kind of a shade, and it's just so delicious. I keep gravitating towards using it. I'll probably put the clip that I show you, I'll show that one. But I also really love the shade Golden. Oh my gosh, the shade Amber is actually pretty dimensional. It's kind of like this coppery bronze shade, but it has flecks of glitter in it that's so beautiful. Now, because I've had so many palettes this last month to test out and try and use, I haven't used all the shades from this palette yet, so I'm sorry that I can't like say how all the shades perform, but of the shades that I have used, I've had no issues with them. And I've just been really impressed with it. I have done a couple other looks with it that I didn't do videos on, but yeah, I ended up being a lot more impressed with this palette than I thought it would be. I really like it. I know it's a lot more basic, but I mean, it's a great everyday easy palette to wear. The mattes blend beautifully. They're very pigmented. The metallics are gorgeous, and I know that it seems like in almost every Naked palette, there's at least one shade that's a little bit difficult to work with. So far, I have not found that with this palette. There are two of the metallic shades that I haven't tried yet, but just looking at them, I can tell they're not going to be the type that is typically difficult to work with, if that makes sense. Like, I can usually look at the palette and be like, okay, that's going to be the one that's difficult. I know, and these ones don't look like they're going to be like that. So anyways, I've just been really impressed with this. I know it's kind of old news by now, which is so crazy. I really hate that things become old news so quickly. But anyways, here's a reminder about this palette in case you bought it and already forgot about it. Pull it back out. It's gorgeous. Keep using it. Or if you were, thinking about it or on the fence about it and didn't buy it and weren't sure, I'm not saying go rush out and buy it or anything like that, but it is a really great, beautiful palette that I was a lot more impressed with than I thought it would be. So yeah, I really liked it. Okay, we're gonna move on to a crap ton of Juvia's Place products. I have so many because since joining their PR, I've just been getting so many products from them. I'm really excited about it, but oh my gosh, it's been a little bit overwhelming, at least this past month, but it seems like things are slowing down. Anyways, the first one I want to talk about is the Warrior 3 palette. This palette is beautiful, but I want to talk about this first because I actually I still feel like this is first impressions of it. At the same time, I feel like not, because I've become already very familiar with the quality of Juvia's Place products and eyeshadows, and this one really is not any different. It's really good. I really like it. I actually really love this color scheme. Now, I always say that I'm not big on blues, so like I don't gravitate towards palette if it has too many blues in it. This does have 2 blues in it, but that doesn't bother me. I think that the rest of the colors are so beautiful. I love that it's like a very primary color kind of palette with a few other pops of the rainbow, and then these 2 kind of metallic shades. But anyways, I think I only really got the chance to use this palette twice. Once I did use it in a multi-palette bingo. I used this as well as the Nomad palette. So I'll try to put a little clip in here of me using it so you can see it in action. And then the other time I used it off camera, but I really have not made more time to use it. And that's mainly just because I had asked you guys in my community tab which one you guys were most interested in seeing me use. And by far, like the Nomad palette, everybody was most interested in. And then after that, I got the Nubian Coral 3 palette, which I wanted to put to use. I was requested to do a tutorial with that. So pretty much this one got put on the back burner for some of the other palettes. So while this is still first impressions and I definitely want to use it a few more times, I still feel like it's good. I like it. I'm a fan of Juvia's Place products and palettes, eyeshadows, whatever you want to say. And if this is a color story that speaks to you, you know, I would recommend it. Their palettes are very affordable and great quality. But I will say that if you are trying not to spend money and you don't, you know, want to, you probably definitely have colors like this in your you know, makeup collection. If you have quite a bit of palettes, you possibly have this. And just as a little shout out to my friend Victoria of Rare Beauty Envy, she actually did a video duping this palette, and I'll link that video. Definitely check it out because I thought it was really cool. She duped it pretty much spot on. Check her out. She's planning on doing a whole duping series of palettes because she's trying to be on a low buy no buy kind of a thing. So moving down the line of my Juvia's Place products, I do have the Nomad palette, as I already showed you. I really like this palette too. Again, this was a color story that didn't necessarily speak to me super much. It wasn't one that I was like, ooh, yes, I love it, I must have it. I do like the orange tones and stuff like that. Greens are really what speaks to me more than anything when it comes to a palette, but this is just a little bit more I don't know, when I first saw it online pictures, I wasn't sure how interested I would be, but I will say that just like with the Honey palette, when I got it in person, it's a lot prettier in person. And I really enjoyed using it. I think that you can, even though it's a little bit more of a narrow color story, I feel like you can create a wide variety of looks with this because you have some of the more like neutral tones, you also have some warm tones, then you have some grungy green tones, you have this gorgeous metallic gold, and then this kind of grungy metallic green gray, and oh, they're just beautiful. Now this palette, I will say, I did have a little bit of issue with a couple of the matte shades that took a little bit to build up, and I definitely would say requires some eyeshadow, like an actual eyeshadow primer, to kind of help these shadows stick and perform a little bit better. But aside from that, like, they're still beautiful. They're, you know, you can create beautiful looks. I did do 2 looks with this palette in one video. I'll link that video, as well as I'll put a little footage here so you guys can see. I will say that I also had a little bit of trouble with this metallic gold shade. As you can see in the swatch, it is stunning and it swatches amazingly with a finger, but if you try to use it with a brush, it really doesn't work that well. And I know there's lots of people who don't mind using their finger to apply a shadow, so if that's you, then you will love this. But for me, I'm like, I prefer to use brushes and I prefer for shadows to work with the brush, so that was the one downside for me and my preference. But aside from that, I think it's a lovely palette. So if it's a color story that is interesting to you and that you've wanted, I really like it. It's in the very affordable range, so if you were looking at this instead of maybe the Naked Honey palette or any other palette like that's a little bit more expensive, this could be a more affordable option if these are colors that speak to you. But I have enjoyed using it while I've had it this last month. Alright, and lastly from Juvia's Place, I think technically I got this maybe this month, but I'm including it now because I've used it so much. I've used it at least 6 times, so I feel like I've got quite a bit to say about it. But this is the Nubian 3 Coral palette. Now this is an older palette, but I did, like I said, just recently receive this. And so anyways, actually that is what I have on my eyes today. This look is my full face of Juvia's Place look. So if you haven't seen that video, I will link it. But anyways, this is as the name suggests, a coral palette, but it does have some pops of silver in here. Now I will say again, this is a palette that when I look at it, it's not something I'm super gravitated towards. I do like corals and orangey shades. I think they're pretty, but I don't know, I just don't love the color story. And also I think it's super strange with these silvers in here. Like, to me, it doesn't really make sense a ton. And it seems weird that they're paired together, but I will say that some of the looks that I've created pairing them together do look pretty good. Like, I have the pop of silver here in the inner corner of my eyes. I did another tutorial where I did mostly the silvers on my eyelids with some coral underneath, and that was pretty. But there was another look I did where I did coral in the crease, like a matte shade, and then the silver on the lid, and I didn't like that so much. Like, it was a little bit old. I don't know, on me I just thought it wasn't a very flattering look, but I did it because I wanted to use this palette and test it out and things like that. And then I will say, like, quality wise, obviously it's the same quality, Juvia's Place, really good. So I have created 6 looks. 2 of them I forgot to take pictures of. I meant to and just forgot to. And I think you can create some really beautiful everyday wearable eye roll looks with it, but it is just very kind of like a simple, easy palette to work with and use. Color story wise, I feel like it can be a little bit difficult to try to think of what you can create with it. And basically a lot of looks are just going to be very basic and simple, but that's fine. Not everybody's asking or wanting to create out of the box super creative over the top look. Sometimes you need something just a little bit basic to create a simple look. Like the look I have on today is a very beautiful copper smoky eye. It's very simple, but it's really, really pretty, I think. So it's just kind of like, what's your preference? You know what I mean? But as far as quality goes, like, they work, they're beautiful. Juvia's Place is affordable, so it's really hard to complain about it. It's really just what you prefer. So anyways, enough of my rambling on that. So let's move on to some products from Pure Cosmetics. I did receive their Barbie collection in PR, and I did do an entire video all about those products and my first impressions and a look and things like that, and did some videos for Instagram and all that. I'll try to insert a couple clips here and there so you can see some of them in action, but definitely recommend you guys watch the full videos and stuff like that. But let me just really quickly kind of run through these products. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the lashes first. These from the collab were the Barbie doll lashes. And if you are new here, you don't know this, so I'm going to tell you, but the Pure Cosmetics lashes are among my favorite lashes. I find them to be fairly affordable, or at least mid-range, because a lot of other like brands are pretty expensive, anywhere from $25 to $30, and that is very expensive for lashes, even if you can wear them 25 to 30 times. You know, which makes it reasonable, but still, that's expensive. Not everybody wants to spend that much money on lashes. Now, drugstore lashes I think are great as well. There's many great affordable drugstore options, like Kiss Lash and Ardell and things like that. But I feel like a lot of them you can't really get the drama and flair that you can from a little bit more expensive lashes. So here's where Pure Cosmetics lashes come along. They are $14, so I feel like it's very mid-range. It's not too outrageously priced. You can wear them over and over and over again, and they're just so beautiful, very comfortable to wear, and I just love them. So that's my rabbit trail on those. But anyways, speaking of the doll lashes style, these ones are quite dramatic. They don't look like they'd be super dramatic, or maybe they do to some people, I don't know. Some people might be intimidated and think these look super dramatic, but they're actually quite a bit more dramatic than even I was expecting. So I do think they're beautiful, but I just feel like it's more of a lash to wear to like some kind of event, or when you really want a dramatic look, but not ones I would reach for every day. But you'll see them in the clips, or I'll put a photo here for you guys to see, so you can judge if they're a style that you would like or prefer. But yeah, even though these are a collab lashes, they're still the same $14 price, which I think is really, really great, and I love that. So I just really recommend Pure Lashes in general. My favorite style is the style Bombshell, but they have a couple other styles as well, and I just really like that price tag as well. I really like the Pure Cosmetics lash glue. It's my favorite lash glue as well. Okay, anyways, let's go ahead and move on to a lipstick. And I just pulled one over here, but there were 4 lipsticks, I believe 4 different shades in this collection. Here's one of them. I will say these are absolutely magically stunning. Like, I'm obsessed with the packaging. They're so, so beautiful. I love how it has this like glitter ombre, and it's textured, but it's not glitter where it's gonna fall off. So I like that. They're very sleek in this rose gold. You push the little button right here, and that's what makes it pop out. So it's like a little secret compartment. And these are glitter. They have like a glitter texture on the outside. But I will say, and this is something I found out after I had tried them, is that the color that they appear on the outside is a little bit different than the color that they actually are. I'm not sure. I pulled over the shade Legendary. This one looks the closest, I think, to what it actually is. So anyways, you will see, I'll link my video that I did swatching all these. It's an Instagram video. I'll link that in the description, but I'll also put a little clip here too so you guys can see. But they're quite different than they actually look in the tube. So you definitely want to swatch them if you can in store, if these are still available. I think this is like a limited edition collection, but if it's still available and this is something you're interested in, swatch it in store to see the true color, or watch my video to see what they really look like, because it is slightly different than how they actually look in the tube because of the glitter coating. But anyways, kind of old news by now as well, but the glitter coating is just the outside, but these are a matte lipstick, and they are a very comfortable, beautiful formula. They're kind of like a very comfortable matte formula, not too drying, kind of very creamy, but not like creamy, like a cream lipstick, you know what I mean? Anyways, they smell really good too. So and next up I have the brush that came with this collection. Now this is really cute. I did use this, is why it kind of looks a little bit dirty. This was the best I could clean it. I'm kind of sad because a part of me wishes I just wouldn't have used it and kept it for the looks, but that would be kind of silly. I got it. I wanted to test it out for you guys so you can hear my thoughts and opinions on it. And honestly, I do feel like this is a brush that's more for show. It's really cute because it has the Barbie silhouette on it. If you are someone who likes the round brushes, I mean, maybe this might be something you might consider, but it's kind of expensive and I didn't love it. Like, I have other round brushes that I do enjoy. They were just like cheap off of Amazon. Excuse me, and they work nicely. I don't use them a ton because they're a pain in the butt to wash, but I think they're nice. This one is nice, but it's a little bit more stiff than I expected. Like, it's soft to touch, but when you go to put it on, like, and use it with your foundation, it's just a lot more firm and stiff. So I didn't prefer it. I almost wish I would have just, like I said, kept it to look pretty, and that's it. But anyway, so yeah, it was something you feel like you want as like a collector. If you love Pure, if you love Barbie and you want it, it's a really cute like collector item. But I mean, it's kind of expensive for a collector's item, but then again, most people who collect things know that things are expensive, you know what I mean? I don't know, so it's really just up to you. But do I think it's worth it? No, not really. It's very, very cute, but I don't think I would really use it again for my makeup application. So I would say skip it unless you absolutely want it. But anyways, next up, let's talk about the highlighter. This I had put in my makeup basket for this month because I didn't get a chance to use it as much last month in September when I got it, and I just thought it was so beautiful, so I really wanted to keep using it this month. Again, I love the way it smells. I love the way the Pure Cosmetics products smell. It's like this very sweet, kind of like vanilla-y smell, and I love vanilla. So I really enjoyed this, but I will say that it is very, very kind of glittery. Not like super chunky glittery, but it does have a little bit more chunk to it, if you will. So I know it's not going to be everybody's jam, but I do really like it. And because it is very colored, like we have this a light pink up here, then this corally shade, and then this gold, it does, you could almost actually wear it as a blush. Like, one day I put on my makeup, and this was the first thing I put on after like my foundation, concealer, and powder. I mentioned in this video where I did my full face of Juvia's Place that I've kind of been on this kick of doing highlight first before even contour and blush instead of the last thing I do. I don't know why I just started doing that. And anyways, I did this first, and it made me realize like how colorful this actually is. It left like a really pretty like corally pink, of course, hue to my cheek that I almost felt like I didn't even need blush afterwards, because it was just like a beautiful shimmery highlighty blush, and I really enjoyed it. But anyways, I actually don't think this will be a highlight that everybody will enjoy, just because it is a lot more flaky and a little bit more glittery. Let me go ahead and swatch it for you guys to see. Let's do it here. They're really, really beautiful. You kind of see that. But like I said, it's just a little bit more of a chunkier highlight. So I don't think it'll be everybody's jam. And if you're fair skinned, I kind of don't think you would like this as much either. I think this will be a highlight that's more suited for someone with, you know, a medium to tan or even a lightly deeper skin tone. So I don't think everybody will love it, let's just say that, but I have really enjoyed it. And then the very last thing from the collection, probably the most exciting thing from the collection, is the palette. This is a really beautiful palette. Like, I love the packaging. The packaging is the same as the highlighter, which I didn't mention, but it's this textured, and this is actual textured, like sparkly beads and really pretty pink rocks. It's a very large, very nice mirror. The shadows look like this. This is the Color Story, in case you're not familiar with it, although I know this is old news by now. And again, kind of very similar in the same theming as a lot of these other palettes. This originally wasn't a palette that, like, the Color Story super speaks to me. I love my warm tones. I'm not super big into cool tones. The Color Story isn't my favorite, but I have enjoyed using this. I do appreciate that it has some of these like more basic neutral shades, you know, the browns, the creams, lighter tones just to kind of work with for any kind of like everyday quick eye looks. I used this quite a bit on Sunday mornings when I was getting ready for church and kind of gravitated towards this top row here. I'll turn it the right way. Towards this top row here. But it also has some of these more fun kind of like colors that aren't like super out there, but this definitely is like a Barbie kind of palette. Like, if you're thinking of Barbie colors, this is a Barbie colored palette. Also, it does have a pressed glitter in here, which I know is not everybody's jam, but I love glitter and I don't mind pressed glitters. I do think that the Pure Cosmetics pressed glitter formula is nice. When you apply it, it's there and it doesn't go anywhere. But the only downside to it is I feel like it's a little bit difficult to remove. Like, it doesn't just kind of wipe away clean. Like other glitters, like the NBA Cosmetics pressed glitters that I use and love, will wipe away a lot easier. Whereas this one takes a little bit more work to get off, so that's a pain in the butt. But anyways, I do think the mattes are very, very pigmented. They're very beautiful. The shimmers are a little bit hit and miss. Like, when I first did my first impressions video, I used the blue, the pink, as well as the purple, and I had no issues with them. They applied so gorgeous, so pigmented. But then I did a couple other looks. I used this lighter shade here, as well as like this lighter pink shade and then this gold shade, and had a little bit of trouble applying those metallic shades. So I did need to either spray them with a setting spray or use be sure to use an eyeshadow primer. So if I'm using an eyeshadow primer, they performed pretty good, but without an eyeshadow primer, they didn't perform as well. So that is kind of like a downside to these. But yeah, it's a nice little palette. If it's still available and it's something you want, I do think it's nice. And I have enjoyed using it the last month and creating some looks with this. But anyways, that's my thoughts on this palette. Let's go ahead and move on. Finally out of the palettes, but I have this Lottie London stamp liner. This is something that I purchased myself. This is a stamp liner. Like I said, it's got a liner on one side and a what just happened? Oh my god. Well, that should tell you the quality at least. I pulled this, the lid, okay, well now it came off normal, so now how do I managed to pull the entire top of this off, and then the ink cartridge came flying out. Let me see about trying to, how do I get it off now? Oh god. Oh, let me see if I could do this again. No? What? What do I gotta do? How'd that happen? What happened? Oh, okay. If I wiggle, okay. Had to wiggle it. Okay. So, this is actually a pretty cheap product. It's like only $7. But the reason why I got it is because Lottie London, I've mentioned this before in another video, Lottie London is the sister brand to Ciate London. Lottie London is available at Ulta, but it's the more affordable kind of version of Ciate London, and that kind of reflects in the products. Well, I think I've tried other products from Lottie London that are pretty good. It's definitely not the quality as Ciate London, let's just say, but I do think it's cool that they have a, you know, a sister brand that is a more affordable, they provide affordable versions of it. Like the Ciate London has their glitter flip lipsticks, and Lottie London also has like a glitter flip type kind of lipstick. It's not called glitter flip, I can't remember, but they have something like that. Anyways, I'd been using for the longest time, and I actually still have it and still use it, but the Stamp and Drag liner from Ciate London, but that was like a limited edition product. Every time I use it, a lot of people ask what it is and where they can get it, and it's no longer available. Well, I had seen that Lottie London had the Stamp liner available at Ulta, and it sometimes goes in and out of being available. It goes in and out of stock quite often. So I wanted to get that because, for one, it's more affordable and it was readily available at Ulta, to start using that instead of using my Stamp and Drag liner, which I wish they'd just bring that back. Why was it limited edition? It's such a good product. Stamp liners are so helpful, and they're what helps me be able to get my wings. But anyways, aside from it kind of just easily coming apart, I do think it's a decent product. It's definitely not as good as the Stamp and Drag liner, but you can still create very easily like a stamp wing liner, which is, you know, if you're someone who struggles with that, this will help you do it. Now let me carefully, I'm scared to pull it off. Okay, so here's what the stamp looks like. I'll go ahead and stamp it on my hand so you guys can see. So it creates just this nice little stamp. I mean, it's not, there's nothing wrong with the stamp, the quality, like it's nice. And the other side has the actual liner, so you can like continue with, you know, the wing across, or the liner across your eye. And I think the quality, as far as like the actual product, you know, the ink, the liner, like it's good. There's nothing wrong with it, but the packaging, that's where like the quality is not the best, and definitely not up to par with the Ciate London product. But anyway, so if you are someone who struggles with wing liner, I would say I'd recommend this. This is only $7. But yeah, be careful of the packaging, clearly. Let's go ahead and move on. All right, so I have a few drugstore products to talk about. So I purchased these two specifically new because I was planning to do, and already did film, so if you haven't seen it, I'll link that video, definitely check it out, but a full face of drugstore makeup as a collab with my friend Heather here on YouTube. But anyways, I had a few things missing to do a full face, so I picked up some products from Maybelline. I grabbed their Brow Precise Micro Pencil. So I don't remember the shade, but I think it's like a dark or rich brown or something like that. Anyways, it's just a micro pencil, and I will say that I like the result that it gave my brows when I did use it, but I don't really like the pencil that much. I much prefer the Covergirl micro brow pencil better. I think the consistency of that brow pencil is definitely a lot better, a little bit more sturdy. The only reason I didn't repurchase that again, because I'd run out of it, was because they didn't have my shade available in store, so I went ahead and grabbed the Maybelline one. And yeah, I just feel like the consistency is a little bit too soft, a little bit too waxy. I mean, it performs pretty well, but it takes a bit to like build up, and it kept breaking on me, and it's a little bit too soft and waxy. And so for that, it's not my preference, but I mean, I don't know if you could even see it, my whole hand's a mess right now. But anyways, so I wouldn't repurchase this. I'd rather just go back to my the Covergirl one. I like that one a little bit better. I'm gonna use it up because I have it, but I wouldn't repurchase it. Okay, and then I got the City Bronzer. This was recommended from Lauren Della Fera, and I actually really like this too. Now, I used this in my full face of drugstore makeup tutorial, as well as another video. I actually used this several times last month. And then a few times this month too, but anyways, and then I used it for another Instagram video. Well, I ended up dropping it, so I don't know if, yeah, you could kind of see. I managed to save it. I used some alcohol and repress it and things like that and managed to save it, but oh my gosh, like my face in that video, I'll have to insert that clip here. When I dropped it, I was like, oh my gosh, I was so bummed because it was pretty much brand new. At that point, I think I'd only used it like 3 times or maybe 4, something like that, but anyways, and I dropped it and broke it. Just my luck. So anyways, I actually really enjoy this. The quality is really nice. It's very smooth, very pigmented. It's a really great product, a very good price. I think there are 3 shades, and I have the darkest one, 300, and that seems to work pretty well for my skin tone. All right, next up, I purchased a brand new blush for that drugstore video because I realized I didn't really have many drugstore blushes. I had the Milani ones, but I feel like everybody uses the Milani baked blushes, and I just wanted to pick something different. So I went ahead and grabbed this Wet n Wild Color Icon in the shade Mellow Wine. It's just a really beautiful, kind of basic matte blush, but it performs really well. It's very pigmented. I'm very, very happy with it. So yeah, I've really been enjoying that. That's been in my makeup basket this last month. And then I also had picked this up. I thought about considering this for my drugstore makeup, but we were doing a fall drugstore makeup look, and I just felt like this one was a little bit too vibrant for the fall look I was going for. So I didn't end up using this, and I wanted to grab the other blush, which is why I grabbed the Wet n Wild one. But this is the CoverGirl Peach Punch Blush. It's a really beautiful color, and then it smells delicious. It smells like peach, and I feel like this is kind of a little bit of an older product, an older launch. Not too old. I think it launched this year, but quite a few months back, and so by now it's old news. But I hadn't tried any of the peach line from CoverGirl, and I kind of wish I would have sooner because it's actually really, really great. This is a beautiful blush shade. It's really pretty and smells really good, and it's not like super over the top smelly. Like it'll go away. You don't keep smelling it on your face, but as I open it, like I could smell it. It's a very nice, sweet. It smells like the little peach ring candies. It's very yummy. So I have two setting sprays, and I'm going to try to talk about these very briefly because I feel like I went in and talked at length about them in my makeup basket video. So definitely, if you're into makeup baskets and shop my stash videos, check out that video because I go in, like I said, a lot more length about these setting sprays, because I also do like reviews on the products after using them for the past month as well, like in a different sense, you know what I mean, because they're older products. Anyways, you get the picture. But these are the, I got the Morphe x Jeffree Star setting spray. I got pulled in because, for one, I love the Morphe setting spray. And then also the fact that this is supposed to be strawberry scented, and I love strawberry scents. Like, I'm a sucker for anything strawberry, so I was like, I want to give it a try. And so I did. And I ended up having some issues with the sprayer, but somehow the kink kind of worked out of it, because now that the little kink that was in it like is gone. I was having issues the whole month I was using it, and it kept spraying like super wonky and weird. And then when I went to go put it away out of my makeup basket and talked about it in my makeup basket video, I did a little tester, and then it was spraying perfectly. So I'm like, go figure. But anyway, so that was really my only main issue with this. Otherwise, I liked it pretty much the same as the Morphe one. But that being said, it's not one that I would repurchase again. For one, I think it was limited edition, so I don't even know if I could repurchase it again. But even if they brought it back or they made it permanent, I wouldn't repurchase it again, because I think it is like $2 more than the regular Morphe spray, because it is a collab with Jeffree Star. So for that reason, I wouldn't purchase, and it's just like the idea of it being scented isn't worth the extra money for me. Anyways, I tried it. I'm glad I tried it, but I wouldn't repurchase it again, let's just say. I just stick with the regular one. Right, and then next up, I have the Beauty Bakerie Sweet Grace Baking Spray, which is their version of a setting spray. I really want to try this, for one, because it's vanilla scented. In addition to strawberry scents, vanilla is my absolute favorite scent. So I was really excited about that. For two, Beauty Bakerie is a brand that I've been extremely interested in, but just there hasn't really been anything that really has called to me enough to actually want to purchase. This was the first item, and I was really excited to try it. For three, this is what really sold me, was the fact that it's an aerosol spray. And that's really one of the main things I love about the Morphe one. I mean, there's other great qualities and things that I love about the Morphe one, but the aerosol fact of it is like number one. I love that it's aerosol. So to see another brand come out with an aerosol spray, I was very excited. And then also, this was supposed to be a matte version, because the Morphe setting spray is much more of a dewy or natural setting spray. I would say definitely more dewy. And I was intrigued to try one that would be more mattifying. So that's why this one called me in. But I don't know if you could see, I had issues with this one being very wonky. Like when I first got it, I think it sprayed very nice, like a nice mist, but I hope you can even see, I'm not sure, I'm just kind of wasting this, but it sprays out super wonky, so I had issues. I know a couple people had mentioned, like, maybe if I run this under some water, it might break up whatever is in there blocking it. I haven't tried that yet, but I'm going to, because obviously I would like to use this. It's pretty much full, but I had issues almost from the very beginning with this spraying out super wonky. And then additionally, I didn't actually end up liking the mattifying effect to it. Now, I know it's my own fault because I am someone with dry skin, so I don't love a super matte face, but I don't mind a matte face. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So that could just be personal preference on my end, but I didn't like it as much as I thought I might. And so maybe if you were someone with oily skin, you might like this. It definitely does mattify you. So that's something, it's just not my preference, but yeah. So I wouldn't repurchase it again. I'm glad I tried it. But yeah, that's my thoughts on that. And then I have one last thing to show you, which actually it's part of a set, but I just brought one over here because I'm just too lazy to go in my daughter's room and get it. But this is part of Derma's acne, like anti-acne system. There's this, which is the wash, the cleanser, and then it also has like a serum and like a moisturizer type kind of thing. And I think the set together is like $32, which is very, very affordable, but these are amazing. Like, seriously, I'm so impressed with this. I will have to disclaim that I've only used them a handful of times, probably about 5 times at this point, so I can't say this is a full review, but just upon those first few times of using it, I was extremely impressed, because if you are someone who deals with any kind of acne, whether it's even like cystic, because I mostly get acne like along my jawline. I guess I wouldn't call it cystic, but sometimes it is like the underlying acne that doesn't come out of the way, but like it's under the surface, you can feel it and you can see bumps. I don't love that. But I do deal with that, as well as a few little breakouts here and there, just normal breakouts, the whiteheads and stuff like that. This stuff helps like instantly. I don't know how or what, but oh my gosh, it's so good. So it does have salicylic acid in it. It also has tea tree oil and then chamomile to help kind of soothe the skin. Personally, I love tea tree oil. It's something I use on my skin all the time anyways. Salicylic acid used to be a product for acne that I kind of stayed away from, because I've tried products with salicylic acid in it before and it always just dry out my skin and then really didn't do anything for my acne. So as someone with dry skin, I stayed away from it. But so I was a little bit nervous to try this, but it was actually wonderful. It was lovely. It left my skin feeling really great, and then the little breakouts that I did have, it cleared up the next day. And I was really impressed with it. But the thing is, I ended up giving the system to my daughter because she has been dealing with a lot of breakouts lately and did ask me if I had any skincare products that I can give her to help her with it. And it was like the perfect timing because these had just come in. And I was like, okay, I'm gonna be using these and I'm gonna test them out real quick, but I will let you have them. And she has been loving them. She said it's like one of the best things. It's helped clear up a lot of her skin and acne and things like that. And so she's been really impressed with it. And then every once in a while, when I feel like I have a little breakout coming on, I'll go in her room, grab the serum and then put it on my skin that night, and the next day like it's cleared up. It's really, really great. So like I said, even though I've only used it a handful of times, like I'm just very, very impressed with it. Also the price is just really good, and then my daughter has good recommendation for it as well. She's really been enjoying it. It's helped her skin, so we both love it and definitely approve of it. So if you're looking for, you know, products to help clear up your acne, definitely recommend Derma. Derma is just a great brand, very affordable and ethical skincare brand. You know, they're cruelty-free, vegan, GMO-free, you know, all the good stuff. So, and they're affordable. It's like, it's a great brand. I can't recommend them enough. But anyways, that is it for this beauty replay video. I really hope you guys enjoyed hearing my thoughts on these products after having tested them out the last month and actually being able to see the replays in action. I hope you found this video helpful and informative to you. I'd love to know what you think of this new format and the way I'm doing this video. Like I said, I know it's a long video, so if you made it to the end, I love you so much, but I do hope you guys enjoyed it and found it helpful and informative. And in addition to that, I just want to say that if you yourself have tried any of these products and have the same opinions as me, different opinions as me, just whatever opinion, I would love for you to share your own experience in the comment section. That way anybody else coming here watching this video who may read the comments can hear your opinions as well. You know, we're all different. Things work differently for, you know, each of us. So you can share your helpful tips and information in your own reviews from your point of view and be helpful to everybody who comes here, you know, to watch these videos. And it's helpful to me too, because I love hearing how you guys work with things that either did or didn't work for me, you know what I mean? And we kind of bounce thoughts and opinions and ideas off each other, and it's just very helpful in general. So anyways, with all that being said, I just want to thank you so much for watching, and until next time, much love and hugs to you. Bye, beauty babes. Mwah!